Hello everyone, this is Mr.MonsterConnoisseur, and today I'm doing something a bit different. Rather than doing something boring like reading an entire story or several caps, I may as well try to get my creative juices flowing because, I just don't want to constantly read stuff. So yeah, I'm going to do something a bit different today. I'm going to help walk you through a choose your own adventure thing. And what I'm going to do in the choose your own adventure is that I'm going to make my own story out of it. Sort of use it as a template. Then eventually I'll add on more things like, some other choose your own adventure stuff. But yeah, well, with the theming of the channel, of course, the first one we're doing involves monster girls. Well, of course, but, So, without further ado, let us begin. Comfy monster girl hair, reincarnation. Been in terrace now for a week, and you're still having trouble getting used to it. You died, you're pretty sure. But instead of a sensible afterlife, you woke up in a Greek-looking temple in what turned out to be a fantasy kingdom. Specifically, it was the Temple of Reincarnation, where someone like you showed up at least a few times a year. The priests there have helped you adjust some, explaining the basics of this world. But it was still overwhelming. Yeah, you think? Terrace is the only known kingdom in the world, and its population is only 10% human. The other 90% are monsters, who all live in harems devoted to a human master or mistress, playing the parts of servants, lords, pets, and even livestock. Bruce explained due to the natural process called imprinting, the monsters are innately loving and submissive to their chosen human, and are more than content in their role in Terra civilization. The ones you've met clearly seemed happy and well treated, at least. A priestess, who also came from Earth, your hometown even, told you she was dubious at first, but had come to accept that it really was true. Your arrival in Terrace left you feeling weak and sick, and so you've been kept in the temple for the most part. Now that you've begun to recover, it is time for your new life to truly begin. A new body. The reason for your illness is that over the past week, your old, familiar body transformed, returning you to your prime and shifting your ideal form. Something that happens to all reincarnated people, apparently. But what kind of form did your soul desire? Man. Males are apparently more than half the rebirths you'd expect if it were random. Some of the priests claim that only people who would be happy in Terrace are reborn here. It isn't hard to see why that might make men more common. But what does that say about the priestess? Yeah, it's very suspicious. Woman. Unlike what you might expect from the less than modern feel of the culture, Terrace sees women as equal citizens to men. According to the friendly priestess, this isn't just on paper, though there's some slight local pressure to take a male lover, since only human women can bear sons. She also claims that most Terrace women are bisexual, and she does blush a lot around you. I mean, a good thing, I guess? Monster girl. It's rare, but far from unheard of. For a reborn human to transform into a monster girl, you're told that they invariably are happy in their new lives, no matter what they were before. The priest planned to introduce you today to another reincarnated person to see if you're ready to imprint. Play through the rest of the choose your own adventure from your new master or mistress. You can choose which of their monster girls you are. So yeah, it's basically an option just to, you want to be a monster girl? Sorry, it can't exactly work. So yeah. A new home. The Kingdom of Terror sees people from Earth as valuable new blood, and therefore, once you are ready, will provide you with The kingdom will provide you with generous gifts to help you find your footing in this new world. Most importantly, you'll be given housing. The Temple of Reincarnation has presented you with several possibilities for your new home. The other resources available to you will vary depending on the cost and nature of the residence you pick. Frontier Cabin. Gain 18 points. The small home is found deep in the woods on the borders of Terrace. Out here, you'll largely be left to yourself. The nearest neighbors days away, the kingdom will provide you with a small stipend in return for guarding your area against incursions by wild monsters. Rural Farm. Gain 16 points. An old couple who plan to retire to the city are selling their farm, located a few hours' walk from a small but thriving town on a well-traveled river. You'll be expected to turn over part of your harvest in taxes, but the land is fertile and still more than enough to support you and your monster here, with enough left over to sell and market for luxuries. Urban Storefront. Gain 14 points. You'll be given a lease on a storefront in the apartment on the floor above the city of Terrace itself. You will owe rent payments to the owner, but the terms are quite generous. If you or your monsters have salable skills, you'll easily be able to make the payments without difficulty. If you're successful, you should be able to purchase the property outright in a few years. That seems pretty cool. Noble Estate. Gain 12 points. A wealthy senator is offered to host you in their estate. The priests tell you that while most advanced Earth technology fails to function properly in Terrace, your scientific and cultural knowledge are still valuable. You'll be expected to share stories of your life on Earth while living with your hosts. If you get along, after several years you may receive an offer of marriage or adoption. Otherwise, you'll be sent on your way with a decent amount of gold to establish yourself independently. Now this is where we get to the choices stuff. Honestly, I'm choosing Frontier because, it has the most points, and I find that to be the most interesting. So, yeah, I mean, you can choose any of the four you want, really. Yeah, and I forgot to tell you, I'm sticking with the man because I'm not a woman, and yeah, so whatever. A new harem, common monster girls. It is considered unseemly for a citizen of Terrace to lack a group of them. So yeah, you've been gifted a group of them on your own. Whether you ask for them or not, some are young and fresh from training, just reaching maturity and the age of their first imprinting. Oh no. Others have been purchased from the previous master or mistress. Apparently the consent of both the monster and your human, the imprinting bond can be transferred, allowing a limited trade in monsters. Your friend the priestess has warned you that, despite their willing submission, monsters are people with minds and emotions of their own. You're treated poorly or abused, a bond formed by imprinting can break. This is called going feral, and causing a monster girl to go feral is considered a serious crime by the Kingdom of Terrace. Damn. Most of the ones you are offered are common domestic monsters, who mostly are part animal beast folk that seem to have largely replaced the domestic animals you're familiar with from Earth. The main exception, thankfully, are food animals. The priestess reassured you that the beef you'd seen at meals over the past week is from actual animal cattle. Yeah, I'd be very concerned if I ate like a whole store or something. Apparently, they haven't been bred into dairy cows. You remember from Earth, though, the milk provided with breakfast is it's breast milk. Fuck it, it's breast milk. And you've chatted briefly with the monster girl who provided it. Weird. Yeah, and this is fucking weird. Not gonna lie. Select as many of each of the following monster girl types as you like, points permitting. Upgrades are mutually exclusive for an individual monster girl, and the price is in addition to their base cost. Dog. Cost 1 point. One of the two most common kinds of monster. Dogs make up the bulk of the physical laborers in Terrace. While there are some breeds meant for softer work, Most are strong and tough. Treated well, dogs tend to be fiercely loyal. They also get along well with each other and other monsters. This makes them one of the easiest monsters to have in large numbers. Upgrade. Guard. Cost 1 point. This dog is a trained fighter, equipped with a light armor, spear, and sword. Dogs like her make up the bulk of terrorists' small army and police forces. Upgrade. Wolf. 1 point. Not actually a dog. This monster is a tamed wolf captured from the borderlands, less socialized than dogs. They are generally stronger and make excellent hunters. Some find the touch of danger in a wolf's more aggressive demeanor attractive. Cat girl. Cost 1 point. The other most common monster type in Terrace. Catgirls specialize in service jobs and other less physically demanding tasks, though some are strong enough for heavier work. No wealthy household is complete without a staff of catgirl maids. They are more self-sufficient than most monsters, requiring less attention from their human to be happy. Upgrade cook. Cost 1 point. This cat has a particular talent for cooking, equally capable of preparing hearty, tasty meals from simple ingredients or managing a large kitchen to produce elaborate feasts. Upgrade. Crafter. Cost 1 point. Many young cats are apprenticed to learn a trade. This one among them, she is a skilled crafter of some sort, such as leatherworker, weaver, jeweler, or woodworker. Yeah, I'm gonna get 2 of these. Cowgirl. Cost 2 points. Though physically strong, cowgirls have a simple rule in terrors. Give me milkies, providing milk on demand. They tend to be placid and less intelligent than most monster girls, although there are always exceptions. Upgrade. Milk. Cost 2 points. This cow has been bred, magically altered or both, to produce an unusually flavored milk. Most in demand are the chocolate milk breed, though many flavors can be found, and one particularly famed lineage produces a potent alcoholic drink. Upgrade. Caretaker. Cost 1 point. Many of the more ambitious cows find they have a natural talent for caring for children or animals. This monster might be an experienced nanny, or a herder capable of wrangling dozens of cattle. I might get her just because of that, honestly. A sheepy. Cost 2 points. Sheeps are widely understood to be lazy and unsuited for any form of labor by the humans of Terrace. It is unfortunate for these monsters, then, that their woolen coats provide value without any major effort on their part. Those who spend time with sheeps often come to appreciate their comforting calmness and kind-hearted nature. Get to work! Upgrade. Motivated. Cost 1 point. This sheep defines a stereotype of her kind, being a proactive and energetic monster eager to help her human. She hasn't had any special training, but will bring great enthusiasm to any task she is given. Upgrade. Black. Cost 1. This sheep's wool is black instead of the much more common white, making it somewhat more valuable at the market. Interesting. Harpy. Cost 3 points. Much more commonly found wild in recent decades, a domestic breed of the bird-like harpy has also been established. Harpies are a flying monster most commonly available in Terrace. A nearly unique compatibility that makes them valuable, despite being impulsive and difficult to control. Upgrade. Messenger. Cost 1. This harpy is one of the major and minor population centers of Terrace. She has also been trained just not to carry messages throughout the kingdom, but also to return home promptly instead of days late after being distracted by something interesting or shiny. Ooh, shiny, my. Upgrade. Layer. Cost 1 point. Harpies ordinarily only lay eggs when they're having a child. No. Some domestic harpies have begun to lay a clutch every month. Whenever they have conceived a knot, the unfertilized harpy eggs are easily distinguishable due to their much smaller size and reasonably become delicacy in the feasts of the wealthy. Don't birds just... I'm not gonna get into the science of it. I mean, sure, you can say, the layers have more valuable eggs, I guess, but I mean, honestly, to me, that just doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you're raising a bird, that just doesn't make sense. Sorry, man. Centaur. Cost, 3 points. The largest and most powerful of all the common domestic monster types, centaurs are used in terrors for all forms of heavy labor. Their size and appetite makes them expensive to keep, so few citizens will seek out a centaur unless they have a particular job for one. Perhaps because of this, centaurs tend to be exceptionally dutiful and ground their self-work and their usefulness. Upgrade. Writing. Cost, 2 points. While any centaur can be ridden and most enjoy it, those specifically trained and bred for riding command a premium when sold. Faster and with a gentle gait, a riding centaur can carry her human in comfort from one end of terrace to the other in a matter of days. Upgrade. Draft. Cost, 1 point. On the opposite end, many centaurs are bred for strength and endurance at the expense of speed, easily capable of pulling plows or wagons day after day with little rest. For a citizen in need of that vigor, a trained draft centaur can be worth their considerable weight in gold. I mean, honestly, I don't really like centaurs, so I'm gonna skip this one. A new age. Rare monsters. In addition to the common breeds, a handful of rare monsters are available. These are in shorter supply because of either low fertility or because they're not found wild. The latter are called tame when a human manages to convince one to imprint a task which usually involves defeating and impressing her. The best tamers can do a brisk business selling exotic monsters in the city. Only one of each of these monster types may be selected. Upgrades are still mutually exclusive. Alright then. Only one of each, I guess. Elf. Cost, 4 points. Long-lived and exceptionally beautiful, elves are prized for their intelligence and magical talent, but only rarely have young. Legend has that elves had their own civilization, but are now found only in terrace. Due to their longevity, many elves become an odd sort of family heirloom, imprinting on their favorite child of a deceased master or mistress. Elves are considered to have one of the most human personality of any monster, though they tend toward passionate emotions. Upgrade. Musician. Cost, 1 point. This elf is a talented singer and dancer, as well as being proficient in an instrument of your choice. She will reflect well on you in high society. Upgrade. Sorceress. Cost, 2 points. This elf has trained for natural magical abilities beyond the simple cantrips of most elves. While not suited for direct combat, elven sorcery can cast light, summon fire and ice, and enchant objects, among other similar capabilities. So yeah, I might pick this one. Drow. Cost, 4 points. Legendary rivals of elves. Drow are now only found in the harems of terrace, despite occasional rumors of wild tribes and underground caves. Drow are considered to be the deadliest warriors of all monsters. They tend to be surprisingly arrogant, domineering for a monster, but when they fall for their master or mistress, they can become sweet and devoted as many a dog. Upgrade. Galadiatrix. Cost, 1 point. Drow is a veteran of the gladiatorial arena in the city of Terrace. Though she never won a championship, she is exceptionally talented with her weapons of choice and has decades of combat experience. Upgrade. Courtesan. Cost, 1 point. Drow are also believed to be the most talented lovers of any monster, and few brothels in Terrace fiercely compete for those drow suited to the work. This one was quite successful, but tired of that job and asked for her bond to be sold. Yeah, I'm not really not into this. Dryad. Cost, 5 points. Linked in a mysterious way to their tree and unable to travel far from it, the plant-like dryad are therefore rarely tamed, despite being relatively peaceful when unprovoked. Dryads live their lives by the seasons, often hibernating in their tree all winter, and are believed to live as long as their trees. They grant health and vigor to all the plants found nearby, and can predict and weakly influence the weather in the area around their tree. This dryad is young enough that her tree is able to be transplanted wherever you call home. Upgrade fruit. Cost 1 point. This dryad is linked to a fruit-bearing tree of your choice. Besides being supernaturally tasty, the fruit of a dryad's tree is highly effective as an alchemy regent. Upgrade Druidist. Cost 2 points. The dryad has learned to manipulate and control her nature magic, allowing her to directly heal and strengthen not only plants but animals and people as well. She can also animate and command plant life, though this tires her quickly. Seems like an interesting option, but I only want to choose one rare monster, so yeah. I think I'll say the other ones first. Arachne. Cost 5 points. For the most part, are only found wild, and a spider like Arachne making an exceedingly valuable silk, considered to make the finest cloth available. This causes monster tamers to frequently seek out Arachne. They are highly sought after, despite their reputation as having a cruel streak and, infamously, liking to tightly bind their lovers in their webs even when tame. Woo kinky. Upgrade Weaver. Cost 1 point. As Arachne has been taught to weave and sew clothing, on the theory that Arachne silk garments crafted by the Arachne herself will fetch a premium. Upgrade Witch. Cost 2 points. Unlike most tame Arachne, this monster retains some of her strange magic her wild kin wield. Poorly understood, her witchcraft can perform tasks such as manipulating shadows, casting minor curses, forcing sleep, and inducing supernatural fear. Kitsune. Cost 6 points. The rarest of all domestic monsters. The fox girl spirit thing are seemingly unaging and uniformly possess strong magic, capable of casting illusions, predicting the future, burning the foes with ghostly flames. Kitsune are believed to be the wisest of all monsters, and are prized as counselors despite tendency to enjoy practical jokes more than most humans. For a one-tailed Kitsune to imprint on you is an honor, even for one reborn from Earth. Upgrade Two-tail. Cost 4 points. They grow new-tail as they gain age and might. Instead of a young one-tail, a century-old two-tailed one whose last mistress recently passed away is imprinted on you. Her magic is more powerful, and her experience could be invaluable. Perhaps she sees something in you in the future. Upgrade Princess. Cost 2 points. A nine-tailed one, the only one to exist, the only one known to exist, has been the favored concubine of generations of the monarchs of Terrace, or is her youngest daughter that imprinted on you, while neither she nor her mother hold any formal rank. There's still a very real connection with the palace and the royal family. Yeah, I don't know, I don't really, yeah. Dragon. Cost 8 points. Rare, even in the wild and nearly unheard of in Terrace. Dragons are considered among the most dangerous monsters known. Flying, breathing flame, immensely strong, prideful, and violent. Dragons are considered almost impossible to tame. This one was badly wounded in a fight with another dragon, and chose to flee into Terrace and allow herself to be captured. The temple cared for her wounds, in which she found herself intrigued by civilization. Still, no one was more surprised than her when she imprinted on you. Upgrade Rival. Cost 2 points. The other dragon involved in the fight has been spotted in Terrace. Thankfully, she hasn't attacked anyone yet, but she seems to be looking for your dragon. Maybe you should do something about this. It may turn out that she's also fascinated by civilization. And you. Oh no! Upgrade Treasure. Cost 2 points. The dragon remembers the location of a deceased dragon's massive hoard hidden in a cave a week's journey past the border of Terrace. She's willing to lead you there. If you can brave the wilds, you might return with treasure beyond imagining. I mean, takes a shit ton of points, but I'll consider a new friend, an empty house, and a harem of monster girls. Not enough to start a new life, or so the Kingdom of Terrors believes. You've also been provided with what you are told is not a substantial pouch of gold, along with a selection of supplies for your new life. More importantly, you made a friend over the past week in the temple, who has offered to help you establish yourself. Choose one of the below as a companion who will assist you for at least the first year of your new life. You may select a second companion at the cost of 4 points. You may optionally alter the gender of the companions as desired. So, yeah, Duelist. This man is one of the most talented human warriors in Terrace, the winner of 100 honor duels. He visits the temple regularly to train their guards, and he saw potential in you when you were first exercising to learn your new body. He has offered to take you as an apprentice and teach you the blade. Tamer. This woman is an experienced monster tamer with an entourage including 3 exotic monsters, a lamia, a unicorn, and a manticore. She took liking to you when introducing you to your monsters, and will both teach you how to best manage them and how to hunt and tame wild monsters. Yep. Wizard. All humans in Terrace have some magical potential, though few learn to exploit it. Though more powerful than monster magic, unlike their natural talents, human wizardry requires intense study and dedication to learn. You encounter this man in the temple libraries, and something must have impressed him as he insists on teaching you science and the art of magic. Priestess. You have become close friends with a friendly priestess from Earth over the past week, and she has asked to take a leave of absence to help you get settled in your new home. She has learned healing magics and the craft of brewing simple potions, and has offered you to teach you both. Starting to think she maybe see you more as a friend. Yeah, okay. A new problem. Of course, it is foolish to expect a new life to be nothing but gifts and blessings. Some would find a lack of adversity itself a curse, either of boredom or of suspicion that it couldn't possibly be true. Even though it is peaceful and prosperous, Terrace is no paradise, entirely lacking troubles. Has one of them found you? You may optionally select 1 or 2 of the below. If you do, you gain 2 additional points for each option selected. Honestly, I say fuck this and choose all of them and get whatever. So, yeah. Adversary. Select one of the possible options for a companion above that you did not select. This person has met you at the temple, but instead you somehow offended them, and they took an instant, intense dislike to you. While they won't get violent unless you escalate first, you can expect them to go out of their way to be a thorn in your side and cause you difficulties. You may eventually be able to befriend your adversary or convince them to let the matter drop, but it will take some time and effort. Isekai. Select one of your monsters. This monster is actually another reincarnated person from Earth, not a native of Terrace. She was a computer programmer in her own life, skill with no value in your new world. Any talents or skills granted by her type or upgrades represent her unrealized potential. She will not gain them without time and training. At least you get your pop culture jokes, though. If you're a monster, and you select this for yourself, you will instead find that you have more difficult time than you expected adjusting to your new body and instincts. Perhaps your master or mistress will be able to guide you through this strange transition. Yeah, I have some ideas about this. Alright then, family. A customary search of the temple records uncovered that a relative of yours reincarnated in Terrace before you. It was 30 years ago in Terrace, but they may have died more recently or longer ago on Earth, or even after you. They were quite successful, becoming wealthy and starting a family before vanishing on a wilderness expedition not long ago. Now the children are feuding over the inheritance, and as a neutral party, you'll almost instantly get caught up in the mess. If you came to convince your new family members to mend fences, you will find yourself with valuable friends and allies and likely sharing the riches. Or if you are bold, You could seek to end the morass by finding the missing expedition and your relative from Earth, deep in the wild. Dead. The home you selected was more expensive to acquire than the Kingdom of Terrace allowed, and you find yourself owing a substantial debt. You have 2 months grace period. Before you need to make your first payment, you and your monsters will need to move fast to start earning coin in time. If you selected the noble estate, you will instead be required to work for your host to pay for your room and board. The exact task will depend on you and your talents, but will keep you quite busy. Either way, perhaps this shared struggle will help you and your new friends grow closer and become true friends. Yeah, just gonna skip over that word since my parents are here. Although they're not watching me, they could probably just hear me through the walls, but yeah. And here are the credits. Created using Mean Delays Interactive CYOA creator. Available at that link. Thanks to everyone. A shit ton of links, and this is version 1.0 of CMHR by Nunmouse. Yeah. Basically just credits. Next I'm gonna show you what I did as a sort of just starting point for the series and just me planning out. So yeah, for the art and stuff, I got this from nunmouse.reddit.com. So I mean, yeah, if you want to like go back to a certain art piece or something, just like look at all these links and stuff. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go through the trouble of just linking all of these. I'm just gonna link the original Reddit post. And so, this is the end of the first part of the video. Now for the second part. Alright, as you can see here, this is the point before, the points before harem. I selected man, selected frontier cabin, which got me 18 points. I chose all four of the things, even though it told me just to choose 2. I chose all 4 because, I want this to be as interesting as possible. The debt and family have already been explained. I chose the duelist adversary because of a certain reason, but I'm not going to get into that now. For the Isekai one, I chose a sheep girl, which awarded me with another 2 points, and so far, the total is 26 points. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to get into much more depth when I show you what I'm thinking about for the thing. Alright, as you can see here, this is the harem. I have a dog girl guard, which is minus 2 points. I have a cat cook, cat crafter. Each is minus 2 points. Yeah, a milking cow, but whatever, minus 4 points. RP messenger, minus 4 points. From what you saw there, the sheep girl thing, minus 2 points. The elf sorceress, minus 6. And friends, I actually got 2 since if you have another friend, it's just minus 4 points. And so I managed to get rid of all my points doing that. So yeah, I'm gonna talk more about what I'm gonna do. So yeah, yeah. Let's talk about the dog because I find it interesting. Yeah, okay. So I'm thinking of making a storyline surrounding this. So yeah, I was like, if you what do you guys want to see from it? Because I think it would be really, really interesting. And yeah, of course I'm gonna add more stuff to it. I'm gonna think about more stuff. I was thinking since the cowgirl also could become a caretaker, I could probably train her into doing something like that. I could sell the sheep girl's fur, and I could just do some stuff with that. So yeah. I'm really bad at explaining things, especially when don't have a script. So yeah. Well, yeah, this is it. This was Mr.MonsterConnoisseur with a Choose Your Own Adventure video. I hope you find it interesting. If not, well, then just don't watch another one of these because, I actually really like doing this. I really like doing this. I think I may do more in the future. So, goodbye.